Alright, in this video we are going to be talking about writing an equation or finding that A, H, and K, so you can write the equation, given the vertex and a point on the graph. So this says a quadratic function has its vertex at the point -4, -9. The function passes through the point 5, 3. So here's the vertex, here's the point on the graph. When written in vertex form, the function is f of x equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. So it's a parabolic function. Find the values of a, h, and k. Alright, so h and k are easy, right? Because we have the vertex. The vertex is -4, -9. That means that h is -4 and k is -9. So we already know those parts. What we don't know is a. So what we do is we use that point on the line and we plug it in for x and y. We also plug in, so we plug in x, y, h, and k into our function here, and we know everything except for a, and we can solve for a. Remember, f of x is the same thing as y, so I'm going to replace f of x with y. Our y value was 3. We don't know a. X value was 5. Oops, I don't want a comma there. And I don't know why I erased the a. So x minus our h value, which was -4 squared, plus our k value, which was -9. And now we need to simplify that and solve for a. So when I subtract a negative, 5 minus -4, this becomes plus, right? Subtracting a negative becomes plus, and 5 plus 4 is 9. I'm just going to change that from plus minus 9 to just -9. And 9 squared is 81. So a times 81. The goal is to get a alone, so we have to undo, add, and subtract first. So now that's 12 equals a times 81. We undo that multiplication with division and simplify that fraction. We can divide out a common factor of 3. And so when I divide by 3, I'll get 4/27 equals a. So if we wanted to write that in the function form, we could fill in our a, h, and k. We leave the rest of the variables alone. So a is 4/27. H was -4, but remember we're subtracting -4, so it becomes +4, and then -9. So that's the function, but we were only asked to find a, h, and k, which we have. Go ahead and try the example on the right. It's the same idea though. So to be able to write that equation, we had to find h, k, and a. You know the vertex, and you know a nice point on the graph. Do the same thing. Alright, it says write an equation for the function graph below. It's a parabola shape, so we know it's going to take the form f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. We know the vertex is at 1, 4, so that means we know h is 1, k is 4. And we know a nice point on the graph, so it passes through the point 0, 1. There's lots of other points you could have chosen. I just picked that one because it was nice and easy. 0, 1 is a nice easy point. And that's going to be our xy. So now we know every part of this equation except for a. We plug everything in that we know. F of x is the same thing as y, so I replace f of x with 1. We don't know a. X was 0 minus h is 1 squared plus our k, which was 4. We go ahead and simplify. 0 minus 1 is -1, and -1 squared is just 1, right? -1 times -1 is +1. We need to get a alone, so we subtract 4 from both sides. We get -3 equals a times 1 is just a. So there's our a. So we plug in h, k, and a into our function notation. So f of x will equal, a was -3, which is good because it looks narrower and it's going downward. So our a needed to be negative, times x minus our h, which is 1, squared, plus our k, which is 4. And there's the equation of our parabola. So all you need to create an equation is the vertex and any point on that parabola, and you can come up with the equation for that function.